Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and objects currently claiming to be rockets, to the entirely fictional Duncan Giggles Chuckle Hour. Jasper writes, is the moon suitable for a respectable weekend? No, Jasper. It has no curtains and very poor room service. Duncan Giggles, man of the people and presenter of the Duncan Giggles Chuckle Hour, unveiled a rocket shaped like an embarrassed teapot. Tonight, lunar travel, unsuitable luggage, political nonsense, an armed historian, and two animals arguing over a cushion. Mabel announced that every adult woman in the expedition wished to visit the moon naked. The men were not amused, partly because space is cold and partly because nobody had packed enough curtains. Mission Control compromised with fully sealed, skin-colored moon suits labeled absolutely not naked. The women accepted, then added enormous feathered hats to preserve scientific dignity. Toby brought the wrong map while the cucumber packed 6 seedlings and 1 solicitor. The baboon pulled the launch lever just as a talking Persian cat named Prince Ferouk climbed aboard inside a carpet bag. The rocket landed on the moon sideways, which Duncan described as horizontal success. Baron von Bristlebrush immediately constructed a podium from luggage and began a monologue about the supposed strengths of the Reich. He praised roads, discipline, grand buildings, and the sinister efficiency of filing everything before breakfast. Duncan interrupted that a regime built on conquest, racism, and murder was neither strong nor worthy of admiration. The Baron retreated into a new argument about the Reich of reinforced shelving, whose only conquests were brackets, cabbages, and badly represented vegetables. From a nearby crater emerged Captain Zoya Vetrova, a fictional Soviet sharpshooter separated from 1944 by an administrative comet. She wore a complete winter uniform and carried an unloaded Mosin Nagant secured in a locked lunar travel case. Zoya announced that she had followed the expedition because its rocket had parked on her historical footnote. The Baron fell in love at once, although it may have been the moonlight reflecting from his own mustache. Zoya admired his architectural vocabulary, distrusted his politics, and demanded that he stop addressing the furniture as troops. Mabel approved this romance provisionally and kept the spanner within reach. Prince Ferouk stepped onto the command cushion and announced, in perfect English, that he had replaced the baboon as mission mascot. The baboon objected with a noise normally associated with falling wardrobes. Ferouk challenged the poor baboon to a fight to the death for possession of the cushion. Duncan amended this to a strictly theatrical duel where both animals must survive, then began collecting bets in custard coupons. Ferouk chose a feather duster, the baboon selected a ceremonial wooden spoon. They charged in low gravity while the rhinoceros and ostrich attempted to referee and the cucumber rang a tiny bell. Both animals missed, floated over the audience, and landed together inside Duncan's betting booth. Ferouk and the baboon shared a sardine, declared a draw, and agreed that replacing one another involved too much paperwork. Duncan kept the betting ledger and called this lunar capitalism with excellent margins. The Baron invited Zoya to inspect his proposed moon observatory, which had 12 columns and nowhere to put a telescope. Zoya rejected every Empire speech but accepted a conversation about roads, roofs, and whether moon dust requires planning permission. Mabel and Zoya embraced beside the locked display stand holding Zoya's unloaded Mosin Nagant. Duncan opened his books of hats and critics to determine whether the Russian sharpshooter was a woman as she claimed. The books proved useless. Zoya said she was a woman, and Mabel announced that the question was settled. Duncan closed the books, walked to the front of the lunar stage, and adjusted his bow tie. That's all folks.